Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome from A to Z podcast. I got my friend Chris Geebus on for the second episode. I definitely want to have you on, man, because I definitely want to tell you thank you so much for inviting me to your event, and I really appreciate it. So I definitely wanted to have you as my second guest. Yeah, man, because I seen you do know a lot of artists,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, so I definitely want to have you on, tell a little bit of your story, tell us what you do, how you do it, or like, just take us from A.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
yeah.
My name's Chris Geebus. I run a platform. I do so much.
Yeah,
I
I
run
know, right? That's the thing I hate.
I,
Like,
run- I run a platform called
yeah.
DDC, which stands for Derelict Dynasty Core.
Okay.
That stems from back in the '90s. Myself, Michael Mike Check, IQ, Elephant Three Times Fast.
Yeah.
There's a few of us.
And is this like art or music or a little
This
bit
it
of both?
started out. I've always been an artist my whole life. I
Okay,
grew up reading comic books, drawing comic, trying to be a comic artist.
yeah.
Then I got in the music scene in my late teens, early 20s, and we formed a group called DOM, and we were actually Rockford's very first hip hop group that was allowed to play live in the city.
Oh shit, for real?
And we owe that completely to the Goodyear Pimps because at the time the Goodyear Pimps just got signed to a major record label,
Yeah.
and they had a song on the film Mission Impossible.
Oh
So
shit.
they threw a show, and we were friends with them, and they were like, "Do you guys want to open for us?"
Yeah.
Well, nowhere in the city would allow us, let hip hop period, let alone us trying to do something. And we jumped on that, and that kind of opened the door. Even though a lot of people aren't aware that opened the door to a lot of other people places allowing hip hop a shot.
Yeah, yeah.
It went through a big adjustment period after that where it was shut down, closed down, opened up. Well, as time went on, that was our group called DOM,
Okay.
Derelicts of Madness. So we kind of had this whole hip hop art hub back in the early 90s that we didn't explore or think about going professional with, if
Oh
you
yeah.
will.
Yeah.
As time went on, we never drifted away from that. I mean, I'm still friends with all the same people. Um, and we just branched out and started being a bit more professional. Well, then as we grew, we had kids, started taking on family lives, and we turned it into DDC,
Okay.
Derelict Dynasty Core. Rather than being a label and putting rules and limitations or any kind of thing like that, not that all labels do, all labels are different, but
Yeah.
we just wanted to give people a platform for a lot of people don't get a shot to play without already having the experience.
Yeah, 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 man.
And I seen that with my son trying to get a job in school, when he got out of college. Nobody wanted to give him a job because he didn't have the experience.
Yeah, man. That's the thing that
I
sucks
was like,
now,
oh no,
man.
yeah. He's like, I went to school. Like, damn, how am I supposed to get the experience? So we kind of started this not only because we still love to do the music, we still love to do the art, but we decided to start putting them together and do our own art and music combined shows and giving some of these people that didn't have an opportunity to perform a chance.
Okay.
So that way they could hone their skills. They could learn how to get better. They can become you don't know what it's like to be on stage
Oh,
and
hell
rock a
yeah.
show
Yeah.
until you do it.
Yeah.
So you can in your head think it's going to be a certain way all day long,
Yeah.
and it's different when you get there. And until you have that experience, a lot of people don't get that shot, and
Yeah, I know.
they're not able to own that.
Yeah, yeah, man. Like I had the same experience, when I did my first art show, man. I was like I was so like I had no idea what I was stepping into, man. But
No, for sure.
but when it happened, I was actually glad because that's where I got to meet you and like some other people, and then I did your art event, and I got to meet even more people, So it's definitely fun to like just go out there and do it,
No, no,
Yeah,
absolutely. And art is a crazy one. It's very art and music go to hand in hand. I mean,
yeah,
in so much of the same way in the creative process of making it, of trying to get it out there to show.
yeah,
And I love Rockford, but it's very clicky.
yeah, yeah. It
If you
is.
don't know the right people or you don't, you know who to talk to, people don't necessarily want to give you a shot or an
Yeah, yeah,
opportunity.
yeah, yeah,
So that's why a big shout out to Vic because I mean me and him have done a lot of stuff
yeah,
over
yeah.
the
No,
past so many
man.
years doing art shows and just little because that's where our love is at. Our love is for the music and for the art. It's not about making $1 million. It's not about cashing in on everybody else's talent. It's not
Yeah,
about it's about giving quality art, music, and a cool place to see it at.
yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Um, what's it called? Yeah, yeah. I didn't really know Vic was a big influence like that, man. So like, I got to meet him more, and look at what he was doing and stuff. So I'm glad I got to meet him.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely, man.
yeah,
Great guy, great guy.
yeah, dude. Uh, yeah, sorry.
All good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. I definitely want to explore more of Rockford, man, because I feel like, yeah, like right now I didn't know you know, went through all that, you know. So I'm,
Yeah,
you know, I'm,
I've been here. I've been here my whole life. I was born in Rockford, moved to Chicago at a small age, moved back to Rockford before I can ever remember not living
oh shit, bro.
here. I have like, like you have certain memories that are almost like a photograph.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
my memory of living in Chicago. Like I remember this place in an apartment, or I
yeah,
remember this park scene, but that's it. Like
yeah.
everything else, it's always been here.
Yeah, yeah, same here, bro. I used to come from Chicago too when I was little, and I think around sixth or seventh grade, I moved to Rockford. Yeah, so I've been here since, you know.
No shit.
And I shit you not, man. I always thought Rockford was a lot scarier than Chicago because you know how Chicago everything's close, everything's like in a walking distance.
Yeah.
Here, like I like if you know we have friends on the other side of town, like that's kind of far, you know.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah. See, and then I went when I was 15. I went ahead and, which I think what helps give me a unique experience, and one of the reasons why Vic and I mesh so well is because he's got a very love for his community, love for his city mentality, but he's got an outside the city perspective.
mm,
So I started traveling. I've traveled coast to coast and doing, different shows and different events all over the country. And I think that's what gives why me and him connect so well and why we kind of have the same vision is because we've gone to shows outside of just the zone.
yeah.
And they are different. They're handled different. They're treated different. They're respected different.
Mm,
So when we'll do stuff, we don't come at it with just that regular not to say basic mentality, but just that cookie cutter concept. It is, oh, it's we just need a building and some people to put in it and charge a price and call it a day. Like,
okay.
we're very much into we've seen things get themed out. We've seen, thousands of people want to go to something on this one basis, which Rockford has isn't used to the average person, it's very group, like I said earlier, it's kind of, it's not that everybody's like shut you out clicky, but it's definitely you always know you're going to see these certain groups at
Yeah, yeah.
these certain
Events and
places,
stuff and yeah, shows.
and we have definitely the mentality of it being bigger than that, of it being something that everybody can come to.
Yeah.
If you love superheroes, we do superhero shows. I actually had a convention here for a couple of years. I did it's called Forest City Comic Con,
Okay.
and I brought in the voice of Lionel from the Thundercats was
Holy shit,
here.
bro.
Yeah, the creator of the Oblongs cartoon, Angus
No
Oblong. Yeah, he's a
way.
friend of mine. He comes out here.
Yeah.
He loves it out here. He loves to hate it out here, to
Yeah,
be honest with
yeah,
you. He loves that it's so dangerous, and he loves to go out to the bars and talk shit about how he didn't get shot.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, Rockford. I mean, it's not Rockford's totally not dangerous, man, but there is parts that get dangerous.
It's like anywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you got your bad seeds that are going to
Yeah,
give things a
definitely.
bad name,
Yeah,
no matter where you go.
yeah, but it's definitely Rockford when it does have its fun moments. You know,
Mm.
it's relaxing.
Over the past 5 years, it's the art scene itself has turned into something I've never seen before. And
Yeah,
being
no,
here my whole
no.
life, I mean, it's for the first time I've seen it become openly accepted for it to be very artsy in the
Yeah,
area, especially publicly.
yeah, yeah. That's true, man. Because I mean, I granted, you know, I can't remember that far back, but you know, when I first moved here, I didn't really see that much too much art, you know,
Right,
into stuff. But at the same time, I was little, so I didn't even know. You know,
right.
I was just a little fucking asshole.
Well, a lot of times, I mean, for my whole life up until again recently, going downtown meant you had to go take care of something at court,
Yeah,
or you had a lawyer appointment, or
yeah,
you had some mortgage thing you had to deal with, or some official business. You didn't
yeah,
go down there for entertainment or to find something interesting,
yeah,
unless it was like the festival on the waterfront. That was
yeah.
the only
Oh
time I'd be
yeah,
downtown for anything.
yeah, yeah.
At that
That's
time, it was like
true.
otherwise you didn't go downtown.
Yeah, that's true, man. Because I mean, there's not much.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, what would you now? It's. I mean, there's tons of retail stores. Cool little shops that are
And I also like, you know, I've noticed more that like bars are starting to do like art shows too, you know, and I think that's fucking
yeah,
awesome,
yeah,
dude.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're opening up a lot more.
Yeah, man.
You know,
And what sucks though, in my experience, when this pandemic started, man, like as I was barely starting to get my toes, like in the artsy stuff, everything was shut down. So like that kind of
yeah.
set me back a lot, man.
Oh yeah.
But again, I'm glad I met you guys.
No, no, definitely. Yeah,
And
no, it's it's been a weird recovery process as
yeah,
well too,
dude,
because
yeah,
it's got its highs and lows. I'll go into certain days where it's like, man, I want to get everything back on track, but then you feel that little bit. Well, is it everything ready to get back on track yet?
yeah, and
I'd
then
really hate to get going and then something pauses me because we
yeah,
just took this year-long pause.
and not just that, man. People, I feel like also people, like they, depending on where they're at, they don't want to go somewhere and probably get sick or
Or get sick.
you know,
But and not only that, that because of it being shut down for so long, you have your cross stream people not wanting to go get sick, and then so many people tired of being inside that there's going to be so many events, so much happening. It's going
yeah,
to be
yeah,
almost oversaturated.
yeah, yeah. So
So
people don't know where to go, and then
exactly,
yeah,
everybody's going out this weekend, but there's 12 places to go.
yeah,
So
yeah, dude. Yeah, man, and that's crazy, dude. Yeah, yeah, I didn't really know you did all that, man. I'm glad I have you on my show, dude.
yeah,
For
no,
real, this is definitely
I've
exciting, man.
I've got a lot of history in the city. I've started a lot of events that I'm not even a bullshit have been stolen from me by the city, by uh, Town Square Media. They're the reason why I don't have a comic convention anymore.
Oh, shoot.
Because when I did Forest City, the first year I did Forest City Comic Con, I held it at the Clock Tower when the Clock Tower was still up.
Okay.
In one day, it was so successful that when I brought in my guests and everything, it was just a 1 day convention. I had over 800 attendees.
Oh, shoot.
I had ZOK, which is owned by Town Square Media, which is how I got involved with them, come
Oh,
out and do a live remote, paid them to come out and do a live remote. And it was hugely successful. Huge.
yeah.
And the following year, Town Square Media contacted me because they have their own convention the same weekend I had mine that last year in Louisiana, and it flopped.
Eesh.
And theirs was a 3 day, and I did more in my 1 day than they did over the course of 3 days. And they had A-list celebrities, and I had C-list celebrities.
Yeah, that's
And
what's up for you.
well, and
Yeah.
they contacted me and wanted to partner up with me. Like, how did you pull this off? Well, what they didn't know is I've been working comic book conventions for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
So I called in all of these artists I've met over the years. I talked to all these stores that I do regular business with. It wasn't a transactional thing. It was I went out and met these people. I talked to these people. And so they partnered up with me to have me help them on their convention in exchange for um, commercial time,
Okay.
airtime. And 2 weeks before my convention, they contacted me and told me that they had to pull all of their people that were willing to do both conventions. If they were going to work my convention, they couldn't work their convention. And because they didn't want people to think that it was the same convention.
Yeah.
So they pulled all my sponsors, made them have an. Well, of course, are you going to go with this guy in the city who isn't backed by any or a major international corporation or national corporation that owns multiple
Yeah.
radio stations across the country? Well, so last minute, I'm scrambling. I lost money. Like conveniently, all of the vendors and everybody made money. Everybody had a
Okay.
good time. The convention itself was successful. It wasn't as big as a year before,
Yeah.
but everything it was successful for everybody else. I lost money though because that last 2 weeks in, I'm looking for people. I had to get thank thank you to 106.3. They came through for me to do my radio advertisement. They were like, yeah, no, we got you.
Okay. Yeah, that's what's up, man.
But
Sure. Yeah.
with 2 weeks, I mean, I planned this thing for a whole year.
Yeah.
So I mean, a whole year before I'm advertising. Now I've got 2 weeks of all my advertising got pulled, all my backers are backing out. So it was a
Yeah.
scramble. So it was success. I could have came back with it, but after that, taking that hit,
Not worth it.
it was just too hard. And then their they held their convention later that year, flopped,
Again.
horribly flopped. I had all the people that they tried to get for me call me up, be like, "Man, we're so sorry." Like one of the vendors, one of the people that were set up there selling comic books, got searched when he went to come in from the bathroom. Like,
Damn.
like they were like, what, like put up against the wall
Yeah.
and searched by their security and the cops that they had out there. It was like, gee, you can't greet comic book heads like that. Like that's not who these people are.
Yeah.
Like these nobody's out here to cause. I didn't have any security at my show.
Oh, shit.
None.
Yeah.
Other than like my own buddies that were watching out for each other, or
Okay.
making sure
Yeah.
nothing bad. But there was no security walking around. They had cops.
Yeah.
as their security. They hired Loves Park Police, and they were searching people coming in and out and making it really uncomfortable for them. I mean, if you're a vendor, you sure as hell should not be searched
Yeah,
by
yeah,
security coming in. Like, you paid money to be here.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Doing and shit like that. Yeah.
so they didn't bring theirs back after that
Okay.
either. So, but at that point, I was kind of, I was up in the air. Did I want to? I just had my own city turn against me.
Yeah, no,
You
dude.
know, like
Yeah,
the people didn't,
yeah.
but all the people that ran it, that were involved with me the year before, the downtown was involved with me the year before, the visitors bureau was involved with me to help me promote it and everything. And then all of a sudden, ZOK gets involved, or Town Square Media gets involved because it wasn't ZOK direct. Town Square Media gets involved, and the city turned against me that quick.
Mm.
I was like, man, it was disheartening.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I started years ago when Kryptonite was still a bar downtown. I started a thing called the Zombie Crawl,
Mhm.
where for Halloween everybody dressed up like zombies, and we walked the whole downtown strip, from across the bridge down, and we hit bar to bar in a big mob of zombie crew. I had it 1 year, and then the next year, on the same date I had it,
Yeah.
Town Square Media threw one, backed by Rockford, the city of Rockford.
Jeez, man.
I was like, man. And so then when I talked to, I'm not going to say who I talked to,
Yeah, yeah,
but I
yeah.
talked to somebody else from a different radio station. And that person told me they're like, she used to work for Town Square Media and quit because she watched them. They would literally go in, find people that were setting up things like the inflatable 5K
Uh-huh.
and all that stuff. They stole that from somebody else. Somebody else approached them with doing this thing. They took their idea and did it without them. She witnessed it and she went to a different radio station. She's like, "That's not helping the community. It's literally taking away from communities by doing
Yeah, man. That sucks, dude. Yeah,
that."
I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Like, I'm just a drawing guy,
Oh yeah,
nothing too complicated. I never really stuck my head into like that kind of,
right. And I mean,
environment.
and that was years ago. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure other people are different. People that work there now. I don't know how it's handled there now, and I'm not here to tell you don't listen to the OK or
yeah,
anything
yeah,
like that. But I mean, it was rough, and I bring it up only now because now at that time there was no art scene downtown.
yeah, yeah,
There was no type, and just to see the transition from the city being so anti that kind of stuff to transitioning now towards becoming totally acceptable,
yeah,
and they're even throwing city style events with it is really cool to see.
yeah,
Makes me a little leery. I'm not gonna lie to try to do anything too big because I've done enough stuff to where they've gotten involved in.
yeah,
And it's hard to say. I don't want to say they stole it from me because I'm not the first person to come up with these ideas, anyways. But I was clearly in the process of doing something that they weren't, and they seen the value of it.
yeah,
So, but that's some people are like, oh, that's bogus. Some people are like, that's business.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, it sucks, man. Like to have that happen to you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that definitely sucks, man. But shit. I mean, at least now, I feel like I'm glad it didn't stop you from
right.
doing what you're doing now. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I mean, realistically, in the end of the day, I think it's a certain blessing in disguise. Like, I love throwing events. That's my thing. Like, I'm an artist first. I'm a creator second, but events is my thing. I
yeah.
love throwing events, comic events, music events, art events, and I'm good at it. I think I'm good at it. I haven't had one that sucked, anyways.
Yeah, yeah. No,
So
it was definitely amazing, man. When I went to go to that bubble hype event, man, I definitely had fun. I mean, it may not look like it, bro, because then I'm in the corner just like like that, But I definitely just love to see other artists,
oh no, for
Even
sure.
though like I don't make no money, because when I do events or a show, my mindset is not to make money or make bank or nothing. It's just to have people come in, look at my art, and give me a compliment. If I
No,
could get a
absolutely.
compliment or make a friend out of it, I feel like I'm rich
Oh
in a
no,
way.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, for sure. You definitely. I feel like most art events, and I when I first started doing my art shows, the first thing that's how I got in the comic book world. I mean, I've always been a comic book reader and wanted to draw them, but I couldn't find art shows to do around the area, so I started going out to Chicago and doing comic cons. I would go in Artist Alley and be in all there, which is how I met everybody and all that.
which is amazing, man.
And yeah,
Yeah,
when I first started doing it, I went in, I walked in with these people are my competition.
yeah, yeah,
I'm not going to talk to nobody. I'm not going to, they're going to all judge me. And,
yeah, yeah.
not like that at all. It was the most open, friendliest, supportive community that I've ever walked into.
Yeah.
And that's what gave me the real want to come back here and do more shows like that, to see that these people have each other's back and support each other the way they do, which is completely opposite from what I was ever used to. And because most things before that I got involved were art competitions or contests, or which
Yeah.
literally pits everybody against each other.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, man. I really don't like competitions.
Yeah, no, I
I
don't
mean,
either.
don't get me wrong; they're beautiful because people are trying to win the competition,
Right.
and but at the same time, me like I feel like it makes a bad environment because everybody like you
Yeah,
said, everybody's trying to compete against each other,
yeah,
so that makes bad blood,
yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yep.
but yeah, man.
I'm going to like this up.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah, just enjoy yourself. Yeah, 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 man. I just wanted to have you on, talk about yourself, put it on Facebook, help you, just promote yourself a little bit
Oh,
more.
for sure, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah, because we got a lot of stuff coming up. 'Cause right now, like I work with a tattoo shop out in
Oh,
South Beloit,
yeah. What's the name?
Dr. Dunlap Sync Therapy.
Oh, okay.
They got award-winning artists out there. Literally, I'll go on tour with the guy that owns it, and wins awards all over the country and stuff. And
Yeah.
he's getting ready to head down to Miami in about a week to do some more stuff. He tattoos producers
Oh
and
shit.
crap like that down there, which
Yeah.
is cool. He doesn't have any like A-list celebrities on his belt, but he's working his way there,
Yeah.
and he's got the skill.
Um,
But we do t-shirts out of that out of that shop. We have a cold brew coffee company out of that spot called Wake Up MF.
oh yeah. Okay.
So we do a lot, and then we're working on this little filming thing, to film projects on the side, be it small movies. We want to do our own little movie thing, but starting to try to do some videos for people, and we're not going into a full blown. I guess we kind of are. We're kind of going into a production company, but
Yeah.
not one of those things where we're being like, "Hey, hire us for all your music videos,"
Oh,
or "Hey,
okay.
it's more of like we've got these projects, and then we also have time. So if you need us, we can do certain things." But I'm more draw, artist, graphic designer, and I'll hold the camera. I can operate the
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
My editing is terrible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Dude, it's a pain in the fucking ass, man. People like I don't know if people understand, but man, like to edit even like the smallest amount of time, like a minute or two, that could be a pain in the ass
uh,
depending on what you want to do with it.
yeah, I was messing with this piece last night where my son, we got this fake glass. My son smashed his hand on it. I mean, I must have been on that thing for an hour and a half just to make a little bitty split-second blood squirt.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I got to like an hour and a half later. I was like, man, it's real enough. It looks like crap. It looks
Yeah.
like crap. But after an hour and a half, I'm like, man, it's real enough. Like I'm good.
Yeah.
Like this is ridiculous. It's for a split second.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. And to tell you the truth, man, most people won't notice that half a second, man. But
yeah,
you,
yeah.
you feel
And that's
like,
what we were talking about when I played it back today. We were like, I was like, man, that looks so fake. We're like, but you know what though? In the overall thing, if all this stuff was coming up, that just went by and then continue afterwards, you would have never noticed.
yeah,
But
yeah,
because you're looking for it, you're
yeah,
gonna catch it.
yeah, man. Because yeah, when I was doing my videos, bro, like I would have it was mostly a lot of time lapse. So I had to switch out the batteries and then have everything in sequence and then speed up the time,
Yeah,
dude, that
yeah,
shit was a pain in the ass, man.
yeah. And especially like once you, because I see all these things I want to do when I'm editing. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, this
yeah,
would
I
be
know, right?
super cool right here. And I'm like, I have no fucking clue how to do
Yeah,
that.
dude, I go on YouTube, man. I'm like, man, I want to do that, like those effects they do and shit. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then when I'm actually doing it, like, you know what? I'm just gonna put a text here.
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep. That's what
yeah,
I did too. I did that
yeah,
the other day. I wanted to take the background out of the scene because there's like a hanger or something hanging in it.
yeah, yeah.
And I got into it for a little while. I was like, man, I'm just gonna put a rotating thing over here over top of it. I'm done trying to cut that out of
Yeah,
the.
yeah, man. I feel you, man. But is there anything you're working on, like you're filming right now, like for anybody?
Right now, well, in the middle of filming, we're getting ready to go full blown with the film of music video for Michael Mike Check, and this features J Church,
Okay,
called Too High MFs,
okay,
which is
yeah,
out right now on all streaming services under Michael Mike Check's album.
yeah,
Um,
guys, definitely go check it out, man. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's a great album. He's getting ready to go out to Denver to do a show out there. We got a show out there July 1st. I'm gonna try to get J Church out there too, so they can perform that track. It's the song is actually all over the place out there, which is really cool. So
Okay,
definitely
yeah.
definitely give it like if you're a smoker, you're gonna like that song.
Okay,
So
yeah, I'll definitely check it out, man. Yeah, I was actually gonna have him on next week. J Church,
Yep.
yeah, because I seen, I don't know if he was promoting or like he was posting that he was gonna do something or go somewhere. Yeah, so I definitely want to
Yep.
have him on so he could promote that next week. I
Yeah, no,
definitely can't wait.
he's one of our busier because all of our members that are in DDC we're huge, like because we have like this core group and then we have some side people that are associated that we work with and stuff like that. Uh, but it's Michael Mike Check, IQ, Kana Abel, J Church, Dre Skrilla, um, Hunter Gonzalez, which goes by Star currently. He was previously Starboy. Um, Man, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody or they're gonna be mad at me. Like
Yeah,
this
that's
has gotten to a point where I got to try to remember how many of us there are.
yeah, yeah.
JCP.
Yeah, if you definitely don't remember, man, like I'll just send me the ones you think you missed, and then I'll put it in.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah, all those guys. So I mean, we're always in talk. Even like most of us have all been friends since we were young.
yeah.
And then we brought Kane Abel's my son, so which is where the Dynasty Core came. Because we went from the DOM to the DDC, and which is basically our version of being like DOM as a continuation. It's the Derelict Dynasty Core. We're Derelicts of Madness, Derelict Dynasty Core.
Okay, I fucks with him,
So
man.
and my son's in it. A bunch of his friends, are in it, and they're all. It's weird because most people don't know he's my son when we go places
Yeah,
because he's 21 and we hang out a lot like we're buddies.
yeah,
So people find out that he's my son and be like, "Oh shit, that's your dad?" Like, we're like, yeah, that's some of the funniest shit. We had a Halloween party at the same place, and half the people thought they were at Kane's house.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, "Oh man, it's cool. Your manager's here." He's like, "That's my dad. This is his house." They're like, "What?"
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, people used to tell me that when I first came here that my dad looked like my older brother and stuff. I definitely know how that feels.
No,
Yeah, man.
but we do music all over the place. I mean, we do a lot more music outside of Rockford than we do in Rockford. Not for any particular reason, just a lot of other places are a
Yeah,
lot more open. Like we go to Madison a lot. They let us do perform out there a lot. With Milwaukee, Southern Illinois, Iowa's got a lot. Iowa's really cool actually.
not bad.
So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I may be wrong, but I feel like when you go somewhere that you're not known, you have a better chance of getting a better reaction.
yeah, and a more genuine.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
there
it's a
you
more
go. There
genuine.
you go.
Like
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons why I'm not on Facebook so much anymore, as much as I'm on Instagram, owned by the same company, but my Instagram, all my interactions are with people I don't know personally.
yeah, yeah.
So I feel like when they give me feedback, it's legitimate feedback because why bother? You
Yeah,
know?
same here. But with me, it's YouTube and Facebook. I have a better like well, to get feedback on my Facebook than my YouTube. Yeah.
I can understand that. I really want to start getting some more into the YouTube side of things.
Yeah, but man, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, at the same time, like I say, I don't know if it's my content, but it's a little bit harder because you have like millions of people you have to
Oh
compete
yeah,
with, man.
yeah,
I mean, obviously, if you do have a following and you post it, like follow me on my YouTube.
right.
But even then, like some people would rather just follow you where they're already following you. So,
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why I haven't made a big push towards it too. And everybody's like, "Well, I don't even have a Snapchat, or why don't you have it?" Because I've got good stuff going where I'm at, and I don't want to necessarily take on a whole nother.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to have being on my social media be as much of a job as making the pictures.
Yes, dude. Yeah, man. Because oh my god, it's a huge pain.
Yeah, no, I mean, my
Yeah,
wife's always yelling at me. My kids are always yelling at me. You're on your phone all the time. Like, yeah,
I
yeah, I
gotta, I
am.
gotta
I can't
promote.
really argue, but
Yeah,
if I don't, like,
people won't know.
yeah, then the
Yeah,
algorithms are set up that way.
yeah, yeah,
Like
man.
if you don't, it will set you back. Like,
A lot.
yeah, like my Instagram's terrible right now because I missed it for like a week and a half. So now I'm, everything just like went radio silent. Like, I'm not getting any follows. I'm not getting,
No, no, I
a
feel you,
couple
man.
couple likes here and there from some people that are catching up, but like I just feel like my nobody's even seeing my content right now.
Yeah. I seen like it's only good to have 2 to 3 social media platforms like that you mainly use, and because if you take on more like YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, all that, like it's too much for a
Yeah.
person, So
Well, and then it begins to, it's kind of like one of the things we talk about with our music guys. I always tell them, put everything on all streaming platforms, but promote one.
Yeah.
Try to get most of the drive to the one because that's where then you're going to build up the most and you're going to make your most amount, be it streams, money, whatever,
Yeah.
the same kind of way with the platforms that way. If everybody can go to, I'll pick his OnlyFans, his YouTube, if I have 7 places to see you at, I'll catch you eventually. I'm not going to worry about going there. Like it, I'm going to see it. You're on everything,
Mm.
as to where when it's stuff I want to see and I know I can only see it in these certain places, I'll stop to make sure I look it up while I'm on that app.
Mm.
So no, I definitely understand that.
Yeah, man. Um, yeah, man. So wait. So you always drawn, right? First.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you always used to do comics, or was it just like?
All my drawings started out. I would sit down with comic books. Wolverine's my favorite character
Oh shit,
because
bro.
my very first favorite character was the Incredible Hulk because I was little and he
Yeah.
was huge,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then I started reading Wolverine